Hey guys, welcome to the page. I'm Ken Smith with Ken Smith Gallery. Really excited about today's video, part one of a two-part series. We are going to be upgrading our videos for the Model A from using our cell phone to a GoPro Hero 10 Black. And so today, part one is just going to show you all the different mounts that I've come up with or thought through and how I plan on making some future videos. Part two is actually going to be taking it out on the road and attempting all of those different mounts, finding the successes or failures in each of those mounts that I described in part one. So let's take a look and see all the different ways we can take this little gadget and get it to do what I'm hoping it will do on our little Model A right here. So come join me. Probably the most exciting thing that I've got to share with you as far as mounts goes for the GoPro is the suction cup. Now, it comes with a couple of different adapters, a little goosenecky thingy dooey jiggy, and a couple other, little widgets. But this is really the basic setup that I'm going to use, just the suction cup. So you can kind of see it there. Holds the GoPro flush to the windshield, gives a few inches away from the windshield, so no chance of any vibration or tapping the glass or anything like that. If I flip this around, I can mount it on the side of the window there, and that's another angle. Again, all hands-free. If I've got somebody riding in the car with me, the GoPro actually has an app that you can turn on and turn off and see what you're recording. So that's really great if my wife or my daughter is with me. It works equally as good if I just pull off to the side of the road, change the position that I'm in, turn the app on, the phone, and see what it actually looks like before I start recording. And then obviously turn it on, start the car up, and move. Safety always is the number one priority when it comes to stuff like that. Keep your fingers away from anything other than the stick shift and the steering column. Key when you go to turn it on and off. And all the tools that you're going to need to fix it along the way. Oh, that's a sidebar, sorry. So anyhow, really excited about this. As you can see, if I just kind of stick my hand, you get the idea. And if I wanted to just stick it that way. What I really like about this is all the different possibilities just with this one piece, just with this one mount. I can mount it on a side window looking out the side of the car. I can mount it on a side window looking at me while I'm narrating or driving. I can attach it to the back window and look backwards as to where I just came from. Or I can attach it to the back window looking towards the front of the car, getting me in the picture while I'm driving as well as everything else. And of course, naturally, I can attach this to the front windshield and you get the whole view. So I'm going to show you a couple of different spots of where I just plan on mounting it and kind of give you an idea there. And yeah, that was just a weird silent moment. I thought I was going to have an epiphany, but they come and go very fast lately. Anywho, yeah, so let's take a look and see all the different spots that we can mount it. So obviously, our first most important one is going to be mounting the GoPro right to the windshield. And to do that, all you do is lift that suction cup handle upwards towards the adapter. I'm going to squeeze it right about there. Push, and as you're pushing, lock it, and that's all you got to do. Really that simple. Now, what I can do is I'll turn the unit on and just kind of get a bird's eye view. I've got everything in front of me that I need. I got the windshield wiper out of the way, and if I want to lower this a little bit and get more of the hood, I do it like that. Pretty simple. Once it's up, it's staying up. It's not going anywhere. To take it off, again, lift the handle and just kind of gently work it off, and that's that. Yeah, that's simple. So that's option number one. So here's another option that I mentioned earlier. Again, just mounting it to the passenger door window. Now, in this particular case, I have it mounted so that the camera is facing out. If I wanted the camera to face inward, what I would do is just unscrew this, flip it around, screw it back in, and then it would be facing me. So just same thing on the back window. No need to repeat myself. If you kind of want to get an idea of what it looks like, let me close the door and you can kind of see the full view from the cab. So a little hard for you to see, but you can see the camera's actually facing me right now. I have it set to front forwarding for a few seconds there. And I can tell you this, all of me, the steering wheel, the cab, I don't know if you can see my hand waving across that or not, but it has all of this area just in there. And again, I don't have this set up on the ultra wide view so that everything looks like a fishbowl. I just have it set to normal recording. So again, just a super view, and doesn't really block an awful lot of viewing as you're driving, which is important to be able to see. If I wanted to, I could probably even, maybe put it in that corner where normally a rear view mirror or side view mirror might be. So this is the inside view from the side mirror. And again, using the GoPro, making this section, you can see out the window, you can see the steering wheel, good view. My arms look a little bigger than they probably should be, but that's okay. I'll take big arms, but all kidding aside, again, just a great view. So this is from the cab looking outward. 90% of our videos are probably going to be shot from anyway. And again, this just gives you a great idea set in standard mode of just the great field of view that we have. GoPro is really not too obtuse on the windshield and doesn't obstruct my vision at all. Lines up almost perfectly with the Quail, to be honest with you. So again, just another view of the GoPro recording. Sometimes seeing is really believing. So this is actually the GoPro recording right now. From the back window, you can see an awful lot of the cab. You can see the windshield. So you can actually see what's kind of going on. And again, really does a great job at being small and yet being wide, if that makes any sense. Small camera, wide view, just awesome. So just to kind of give you a little close-up of the Gumby Mount, what they call, GoPro calls the Gumby flexible mount, is it uses gear ties for the mount. And you can see where I just have it wrapped around the Quail. I do not have it wrapped around the neck of the radiator, just the Quail. It's really not that heavy of a unit, so I'm not too worried about stress on the radiator neck per se. But what's important is that it can be done. Now GoPro makes a suction cup, and they say, and we'll talk about this in a little bit a little later, that it's good to 125 miles outside. Mount it on your hood here somewhere if you want. For starters, I'll just tell you this, that if you're doing 125 miles an hour in a Model A, I don't want to be nowhere inside of you. I'm not going to test that theory, so you don't have to worry about me even attempting to go 125. But this kind of gives you an idea of how that Gumby mount is being used for the GoPro. Now, as I mentioned, one of the really nice features about this particular mount is that I actually have it mounted on my flying Quail. I'll show you a video of that here in just a second, but I wanted to give you an idea of one of the ways that we are going to be able to use the GoPro so much more effectively now is eventually our plan is to add some lavalier mics, and I'll be able to actually talk to you via a lavalier mic while I'm driving the car. And you get a great view of all of this without me having to scream, because you're not going to hear me once I'm going down the road. But the lavalier mic will solve that problem. Now, here I'm using the same Gumby mount and using it on the front bumper, just to kind of give you an idea there. These gear ties really make it really nice to just be able to wrap it just about anywhere. The other beauty part of that, quite honestly, we don't have to worry about scratching our 30-year-old paint job. At least I'm guessing that's about how old it is. Not that I'm worried about scratching that either, to be honest with you. But again, just another way to mount it. Now, the mount's really durable. As you see, I'm giving this some good tapping. Is there some vibration? Yep, there's some vibration. The beauty part of it, this little unit though, is its vibration dampener in the video is absolutely superb. I've already tested it, just hand holding it while my father-in-law was driving a few weeks ago up the Colorado Monument, and you couldn't see anything shake. And also there's a great level feature here. We're almost up to about 45-degree shift, and she's still going to stay pretty level. So that really kind of takes care of some of those leans that you might see. So yet, if I do this on the front, I obviously could do this on the back bumper and look at traffic coming at me. So that's a couple of options that we can do for the bumpers. And here's just another way that I use the Gumby. These gear ties, just so you know, these gear ties, they give you a replacement set of gear ties. As you can see, I'll kind of just unravel one. That's pretty much how easy they are to use. Again, just kind of unraveling it. Kind of like, your bread twisty. This is really all it is. This is what your GoPro attaches to, and then your GoPro just slides in and locks. These gear ties are absolutely replaceable. So here's the thing. They give you a set of replacements, But gear ties, you can get at just about any hardware retail big box store. That's literally what they're called, gear ties. And any big box store has them. Google them up. You can find them. They're not that hard. They make them up to, I want to say, maybe 3 feet long. I've had some extra long ones. If you want to know how durable they are, I've had them hold a canopy tent down in 60-mile-an-hour gust winds, attaching it to the weight. So they definitely do work. There's no question about it. So that, again, also is another option. Just get some longer gear ties, maybe strap it to the door handles like I mentioned. You could probably even strap it, if you don't want to strap it to the door handles, strap it to your door posts if you got a 4-door. Again, just another wonderful option. If you're curious as to how the GoPro locks in, I'll see if I can do this so that you can see. Pull this rubber cover off, lift it up like that, and right here are a couple of tabs. You just kind of squeeze that and out it comes, and that's how it locks in. This is what you actually get for your adapter. Now this setup obviously is not a GoPro setup. This is actually designed to hold a 35mm camera or video camera and clamp it to either another leg of a tripod or to some other sturdy device. And obviously we didn't do that. We've got our GoPro clamped onto it, as you can see. Now, one of the things that I really wanted to be able to do was to be able to shoot down the side of the car with some video, kind of get, the wheels turning, kind of give you a sense of motion, maybe even see what oncoming traffic looks like from a little different perspective. And GoPro did not have anything even remotely close to this. But let me just give you, we'll just turn the unit on here real quick so you can kind of get an idea of the camera view. And, well, probably not the best thing. Try to move in a little closer. Well, it's obviously not going to focus being 3 inches away from the unit. But you get the idea. I mean, you can see my lawnmower way over there, and that GoPro was picking it up. It virtually has, like I said, just about a whole lane of traffic. So again, this is only about, if I had to say, probably no more than about 8 inches away from the car, hanging out a little bit. And not too terribly bad. This is quite sturdy. It's not going anywhere. So again, one of the options that I'm going to try, I'm really hoping that maybe if I send some pictures to GoPro about what I'm doing, maybe they'd be interested. I don't know. But I wasn't too sure how well their clamp thing would do, kind of holding on the outside. And honestly, like I said earlier, ain't trusting that suction cup. So, again, just an option. I think I could probably even rig up the Gumby, and actually thought about putting them right there and kind of having the Gumby kind of stick out a little bit. That might work too. Now, as you can clearly see, the field of view is absolutely amazing. We probably have a whole lane of traffic over here. Obviously, I'm not really going to run it an awful lot in this particular position for a lot of reasons. One, the roads here are quite narrow. And two, I'm not sure that, it's going to hang in there at rated 125 miles an hour. But the point is that this is just a really other neat perspective. Now, GoPro does make a clamp style flexible neck like this, but it's one of those squeeze clamps, and I wasn't really too sure if that was going to work. And since I had the tripod mount already, this is one of the choices that I decided to make. I think what I'd like to do in the long run is probably come up with a C-clamp type of device to see if, you know, maybe that would work a little better. But again, just getting it less than a foot off the fender, and you can see all of this view. It's absolutely amazing. So I hope this really helps you in seeing some different ways that maybe you can mount a GoPro to, if you decide to invest in a GoPro. Now, like I said, this is the GoPro Hero 10 Black. I'm not here to tell you all the great features and benefits of it. In fact, I would submit to you there are plenty of other great videos out there that gives you all of the features and benefits and full board reviews that are out there. I'm not here reviewing the product. If you want to review, I'm not the guy. I'm just telling you how I plan on using it on my Model A and giving you some ideas on maybe how you can use it on your Model A too. One thing I will tell you, that at the time that I was making this video, GoPro has a huge sale going on right now. If you're looking at saving some money, this would be an opportune time to look at it. But again, I'm not sponsored by GoPro. I'm just telling you because that's what I did. So if you haven't already, remember, please like and subscribe. Super important to us. It helps us to continue to make content, gives me encouragement. But more than anything, be blessed.